EuroLuxHome.com, and I would love to tell you about this very ornate, very symbolic antique hunting buffet. It's our item number 25-36. And boy, is this an unusual one. It is just so filled with carvings, and we will talk about all of it. But first, I'll give you the dimensions. It's 96 inches high by 70 wide, so a great big one, and 21 deep. It is completely hand carved in solid oak, and it does have a very dark, almost black finish to it, very dark brown. Dates right about 1880. Late 19th century piece. And boy, if you love heavily carved furniture, you are going to love all of the details on this piece. Now, sometimes people use great big pieces like this for wine cabinets. We have seen that. If you have a wine cellar, this could be really a great piece. You would need to just amend the shelves to put little cutouts, and then you could lay the bottles in the shelf. But we have seen customers do that, and it just looks stunning. But however you use this piece, could go in a kitchen, could go to be, even you could use it as a linen closet if you had a great big space and lots of linens. Really, you could use it anywhere in your home. So we'll start up at the very top, and this is just the traditional Renaissance carvings. This great big cornice all the way across the top. You can kind of even imagine like that would be on a building. I mean, it really has a very heavy architectural feel along the top of the piece. And notice that little tiny edge, the little cutouts along. I'll bring your attention back to that in a few moments. But then you do have these lion or gargoyle faces on either side of lots of flourishes and curls. And then as you come down, we come to these three fun figures. These are just so charming. They are what's called Putti, P-U-T-T-I. Cherub is another word for that, but in art history we tend to call little children, childlike angels, Putti. And they just are meant to invoke the idea of innocence, of happiness. And these little Putti are actually musicians, which just adds to the sweetness of the piece. Here in the middle, this little child has his cymbals, and then the two on either side have long wind instruments, like a great big flute. And so you can just even imagine that you're hearing the beautiful music of the spheres that these little Putti are adding to the ambiance around this piece. Now, all around the doors are heavily carved. There's lots of carvings all the way around. And again, this cutout pattern, so noticing that. Originally, these would have had glass in the doors, but apparently the glass was lost to time on this piece. And so chicken wire has been put in the doors, which gives it a bit of a more rustic feeling to it, makes it a little less formal, a little more fun, and just is an interesting focal feature. So I'll go ahead and open the doors for you so you can see. I wanted to bring your attention. Here's that same cutout carving right along the front edge of the shelves. So really neat that it all ties together. And these shelves are adjustable. Coming down, we have the little lion faces that act as pedestals that the little Putti are standing on. There's some carved swag drapery there. And then coming down, we have lots of fruit. We have this whole idea of abundance and prosperity in the hunting style. The hunting style was actually developed in the 16th century when the French king decided to move out of Paris and move out into the countryside. And then all of the courtiers, the other aristocrats that wanted to be in the sphere of the king, also moved out to the countryside and started building little country cabins, which today we know as the castles in the Loire Valley. And so at this time, when all of those castles were being built, they were wanting to have furniture that echoed being out in the middle of the countryside and the pursuit of hunting as a diversion of something to do during the day. And so that's why you have these symbols, a lot of times animals on the hunting style. This one is a bit more playful and really connects to that Greco-Roman heritage that is part of the Renaissance style. So even though this is a hunting style, hunting is a type of Renaissance style. And so as we move down, first though, I'm going to show you that the drawer pulls on this have kind of little animal motifs. So it's kind of looks like a little bear to me, but that's actually the drawer pull. So your finger goes up in and you can pull open the drawer. Now right here under the drawer, you actually have little extra shelf, and it's the same on the other side. So you can pull that out. If you were to use this as a bar cabinet, then you could imagine having all of your glasses and your bottles, and then you could pull out and actually have more surface space to pour drinks for your friends and family. So great little feature of this piece. But as you continue to come down, we do have more of a kind of a lion face here. We have 3 of them on either side of our little bear drawer pulls. A little lion face, and then as you come down, you have these 3 figures that are on either side of the 2 doors. I'll talk about the 2 doors first, and then we'll come back to the figures. So here on the doors is this great big cornucopia, sort of a little basket, and then it's filled with all sorts of fruit. This kind of looks like pomegranates and pears and apples. And then you have all of these carvings surrounding the basket. There's actually a carved pattern into the door. And all of this is carved directly into this door panel. It's not glued on there. That's all carved directly in. And you have this egg and dart carvings all around, and then another frame of carvings all the way around the door. So you have this whole theme of prosperity and abundance, of being out in the countryside, of bringing in all of the food. So then the little cherubs, and actually I'm going to back up and not call them cherubs, I'm actually going to call them goddesses, because in my opinion, I think that they actually refer to Demeter, the Roman goddess. I'm sorry, that's the Greek goddess. Demeter is the Greek goddess of abundance, prosperity, fertility, fertility of the earth. And as you come up close and look at her, the reason I think that she represents Demeter, the Greek goddess, or Ceres, the Roman goddess, same of agriculture, of fertility, of the earth. She actually, it looks like she has a little crown of corn. If you look closely, that's what it looks like to me. And she actually even sort of looks like she has a pregnant belly. So again, that filled with fertility, and that belly, I think, connects to our little Putti musicians up at the top, because Ceres, the Roman goddess, actually also is connected to a mother and a mother's love for children. So I think that there's a lot of symbolism there. But she is part of this little column. There's more fruit that hangs down below. And then, of course, all along the bottom, you have this heavily carved molding along the bottom. It's just a very rich piece. Lots of symbolism, very ornate, lots of details to look at. So if you are a plain Jane, just like very plain furniture, this is not the one for you. But if you love really lots of heavy carvings, where you could just sit and have a glass of wine and just look at all the details, and just, it's fun to discover even more details as you sit and look at the piece, and just think about how it had been used in the past, how you can use it in your home. So if you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out about this just really interesting antique hunting buffet. Please give me a call at 803-276-4001. Remember that EuroLux Home does include free shipping within the continental US and some places in Canada. But let me know how you would use a piece like this in your home in the comments below.